Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's paper, nor anything that he has, 'cause you'll get the answers, but not the work that shows you got it right.
Every b value is going to be a -3. Yes? You guys did it wrong. A lot of you did it. Every a value is going to be a 2. I missed that part. And then every c value is going to be a 8. Okay, here we go. I have been telling you, use a what? Parentheses, -3. Do you see it? Then the green, or A, is 2. Plus, the C value is what? 8. This is what we should have so far. Raise your hand if you have that on your paper. Good. I'll tell you what the mistake is afterwards that students are making. Okay, remember the square tells us you have 2 of them. -3 times -3, which is what? +9. And 9 plus 18 is 19. 9 plus 8 is 17. Let me show you guys the mistake students are making. The mistake is students were doing this. They were lazy. They didn't want to listen to Mr. Ng. And so then they did 3 squared is 9, so they thought it was -1. But they didn't want to listen. Parentheses for the substitution. I think in soccer they even do that, right? Sometimes they bring up a card or something like that when they do a substitution. Is that right? To show that. Well, you need that in even in evaluating functions.
We love math A, we love math A, we love math A. Every time we divide, we already know the path A. Then we multiply, all we gotta do is roll the die A.
Alright, let's go through this example here. Class, which one looks more like yesterday's lesson? B. So let's do B first. It gives me now, if you pay attention, there's an equal sign. So this is actually a function. They want us to evaluate the function, so we're going to do a replacement. Every time I see x, I'm going to write what? 4. So I'm just going to repeat everything else. Y equals -2. Yesterday we learned how it's very important to do the replacement or the substitution with the parentheses. Plus -2 minus 4. Why is that wrong? And that's number 1 mistake right there. That's why I did it on purpose. Don't do that. You do the exponents first. -4 times -4. This is another mistake I remember from all the years I'm teaching, okay? The mistake is a lot of students write here -16. This is incorrect because remember -4 squared, the power of 2 tells us how many are there. There's 2 of them. And guys, look, if you're not sure, see that? Now let me show you what to write in your calculator. You'll write it just like this. -4 squared. Okay? My answer is 16. Now let me show you what would happen, and I'll use a student's regular calculator. Look what happens, how the calculator's not wrong, it's how you input it. So if you just put in -4 squared, you're like, who cares about the parentheses? Look, it gives you the wrong answer. Do you see that? Let me use someone else's calculator. I've never used this calculator in my life. Let's see, on, okay. Do you have a negative button? Oh, there's a negative button. Look, same thing. -4 squared. Ready? Wrong! Wrong! You see that? You have to use what class? negative, parentheses, negative 4. Try with your calculator. Squared. And you should get 16. Do you see that? So pay attention to what you're putting in there. So now what do I do, class?
Multiply negative.
We're going to multiply, right? Y equals, so what does that become? 32. Negative 32. Negative 32 plus 7. And add those together, and you get negative 25. Do you see the difference, though? Now, I still have that y equals in front.
Class, W is what value? Okay, look. Here's my highlighter. Every W value is 3. How about Z? Okay. Every Z value is going to be 4. Let's write it out. 4 times. Oh, sorry. You guys can't see anything. It's frozen. So every W value, we're going to write 3. That's the yellows. But look what I'm doing. I'm putting it inside parentheses. Every Z value is what? 4. Every Z value is 4, and I have the square. All right. Tell your put your finger on what we're going to do next. Look at your partner's paper. We should be doing what next, class? Exponents. Because of PEMDAS. Do you see how it's now 2 lessons in 1? Class, what is 4 squared? 16. Okay, here's the reason why I'm putting 16 in parentheses. Because that's going to be what right here? Multiplication. So I have 4 times 3 times 4. That's going to be 12. 12 times 4 is going to be 48. And negative 3 times 16 is going to be what? And 48 minus 48 is going to be 0. Raise your hand if you got 0. All right, so in this problem, they don't really say it, so let's write it up here. They're going to say the word evaluate. Evaluate means you're just going to do some kind of substitution. And you're going to notice that I'm going to use the substitution by colors, and then you're also going to see I'm going to use it by math symbols. So let me do a teaching strategy called think out loud. Think out loud. So I see 7c plus e squared for c equals 3 and e equals 4. Okay, so I know that every c value is equal to, make sure, big, and not so dark. Oh, that's really big. Every c value is going to be a 3. And every e value is going to be a 4. 7 times, because that was multiplication. That's multiplication here. Class, what is the c value? Now pay attention. I drew a parentheses. Everyone say it. The parentheses show your substitution. The lazy math student will not do the parentheses and they're going to get the problem wrong. Let's keep going. So I still have the plus sign, and then the e value is what? 4. We've done a problem like this before. Partner A, tell partner B the acronym we learned yesterday. Ready, set, go. And what does it stand for? Molly, what's the acronym from yesterday? PEMDAS. Put your finger on what we're going to do first, class. I'm going to do parentheses and then exponents as a chunk. There's my chunk. Class, 4 times 2? 4 times 4, which is what? 16. Okay, pay attention. Let me see if I can highlight that. This here, all of this is going to be positive. 4 squared is positive. That's why I'm writing a plus sign here. That was a bad plus sign. And then class, 7 times 3? 21. And then 21 plus 16 is 37. All right, every x value is going to be 2. And every y value is going to be 9. And then we're just copying down the same problem. 2, but instead of x, we're going to write what? A 2. And instead of writing y, we're going to write 9. Okay, should I multiply or do exponent? Exponent, PEMDAS. Three times 9? 27. And then we have 8 plus 27 plus 6. And then we get 35 plus 6 equals 41. So take your time, use the parentheses, and use order of operations. All right. Let's take a look at this one. What do we see? Looks good? Looks okay? I would have liked to see what? Parentheses. Here's the reason why, guys. If you don't do parentheses, especially on this green one, you might have thought of it as -2 to the third power. And that would have given us an answer of -8. Now, it's coincidental that the answer is -8. Let's take a look at another student. Okay, I like this one. Parentheses. Yeah. Good. Let's take a look at this one. Substitution, parentheses. I like it. See? Do you see the difference? The difference is 2 to the third power, then the answer is negative. So 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which would give you the 8 here. And then you take the opposite of that, which becomes -8. Good job. Ruben. Ruben, what's the b value? Parentheses, guys. A value? C value. Nice. Samuel. What do you want to do first? Exponent. What do you get? Keep going. Should I subtract 4 or multiply? Yeah, PEMDAS, guys. So multiply kind of says multiply all of these. Samuel, do it. Yeah. And raise your hand if you got 9 is your answer. Okay. Bonus. Does anyone know where this comes from? B squared minus 4ac? Dun 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 dun. You guys think I'm crazy? It's called the discriminant in the quadratic formula. Yeah, we're gonna be doing that. Kevin, what's your B value? A value. C value. Thank you, Kevin. Ashley, what do I do next? Six? You said 3 2 times. So I said 3 times 2 is 6. Uh-huh. Which is? Now what? Yes. Yes. Okay. Good. Which is? Yeah. In class, 9 plus 12 is? 21. Raise your hand if you got 21. Good job.
In this problem, we need to evaluate. Yesterday, we learned in yesterday's lesson that evaluate can be 3 things. What's one of them? Substitute. Yes, what else? Replace it. What else? Use those parentheses. So if you weren't here yesterday, that's what we did yesterday. Every x value, what am I going to use? A parentheses, and I'm going to write a 4. Every y value? Parentheses 3. Pay attention, I didn't highlight the negative sign. And every z value, I write my z's with a line through it because I don't want it to look like a. Class, tell me what to write. Okay, so if you have too many parentheses, you get confused. You can use a different symbol. You can use a bracket. It's the same. What am I writing there? 4 squared minus what? 3. Plus 2 squared. All right, I gotta go through PEMDAS. What should I do first? So inside that parentheses, let's see if we can highlight it. Inside that green. Does that make sense? What should I do first? 4 squared. So I brought up a random calculator. Looks more like what you have, maybe. Alright, so your calculator looks like that, and eventually you're going to do some exponents, 4 squared. You have a couple of choices. In this calculator, I can do 4 caret, called a caret, and then 2. Now this is, some of you guys have math type, which means that the little 2 will actually go up there as your exponent. You have 16, okay? That one is caret. So this one can't do it. Well, you can. That's just 4 times 4. Yes? 16. And that'll be the 4. What should I do next?
16 times 3.
Which gives you what?
30.
What's now? Which is 26 plus 4. Raise your hand if you got 30. In this problem, we need to evaluate. We learned yesterday that some key words with evaluate are what? What? Sub, right? What else? replace, and we definitely need to use the parentheses. So every time I see x, I'm going to put a what? Parentheses with a 0. So I have the negative sign, 0. And if there's too many parentheses for you, you can always use a different grouping symbol, such as like brackets. 0 to the 5th power, minus 3 to the 3rd power, plus 2 to the 0 power, minus 1. I'm still going to use the order of operations. So I see a inner set of parentheses here. And then within here, I'm going to go back and do any inside parentheses, which I can simplify, then do exponents. I'm going to do the exponents as I go left to right. 0 to the 5th power? 0. 0 to the 3rd power? 2 times 0. Minus 1. Put that back in green. See that? And now inside that parentheses, I'm going to go ahead and do multiplication left to right. So 4 times 0. And then now I'm going to do this parentheses. That becomes what? Just the negative 1, right? Opposite of 0? 0. And 0 times negative 1? Raise your hand if you got 0. Even at the very end, you could have been tricked here and thought 0 minus 1 is negative 1. But remember, look at the math operation there. Okay?
Math is great, math is okay. You will need in life every day. From pandas to functions, to fractions, to formulas. You will need in life every day. We need math.